See what they cooked for us. Nice.
All right. We are live, I believe. Everyone check your profile. If you guys are on LinkedIn, maybe leave us a comment. Let us know if we're live, if the audio is good, if the video is good. Let's see.
What's up, everyone? How we doing?
What's going on? I see it on my profile. Do you guys see it on yours?
I'm looking on yours. I don't see it. Did it come through as a post?
Yeah, I just had to refresh again, and then it came through as a post.
Oh yeah, Connor, I see yours too.
Okay, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we're good, guys.
I think we're good. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us. I'm also going to check Facebook real quick. While I'm doing that, Connor, do you want to give a little backstory on TrioSEO, maybe a little on us, how you found Steven? Why don't we start with that while I'm checking all the channels?
Yeah, sounds great. What's going on, guys? I know you all know my face, a little bit outdated on my LinkedIn profile for the past 9 months, but excited to chat here and talk about SEO, talk about Trio SEO. And yeah, so first off, how do the three of us know each other? Nate and I actually met 12, 13 years ago now, if you can believe it, in a business law class in Connecticut in the United States. So Nate was busy trying to sell baby products and toys online while watching the Yankees play baseball. I happened to be sitting behind him in class and saw what he was up to, wondering why he wasn't taking notes. And it ended up that we connected. I saw that he was starting a business. He was looking for people to help him. And we became, I was one of his first hires. So we worked together. We ended up running an Amazon business for 5 or 6 years, selling a lot of product, hiring a lot of people. And that led us into our second business, FreeUp, which that was where I kind of started to get into SEO. And we saw it as an opportunity to really build all of our businesses going forward. So Nate and I have known each other for 12, 13 years, which is pretty crazy. We've pretty much been married at this point. We've had some fights. We've had some great times. We've had the ups and downs that all entrepreneurs go through. And we're always looking for new opportunities of businesses that we can start. And for the past 5 or 6 years, we've always had business owners and friends come to us and ask, hey, will you guys run our SEO? Will you create content for us? Will you build backlinks? Will you teach us how to do keyword research? They kind of saw that we were doing all this for our own companies and they wanted help with theirs, but it just wasn't the right time. We didn't have time. We were running FreeUp. We were running these other businesses that we have. But at the beginning of this year, I ran into Steven, and you guys will love this because I just met him through LinkedIn. So I think I made a post on Sunday that broke down all of the messages and DMs and texts that we went through. And I forget if I reached out to him or he reached out to me, but we ended up connecting somehow. We collaborated on a post together. We had a networking call. We ended up texting a ton back and forth. It was almost like we were dating a little bit in a sense. And then it led to a point where we got on a phone call and we had a bunch of walk and talks and learned about each other. And that eventually led us to saying, hey, this could be something where we could work together. We can finally build this SEO company we've been thinking about. And Steven can be the CEO and the one to help us kind of run it as well. So super exciting to share all this news with you guys. And thank you for all the support over the past few months. We really appreciate it.
Real quick before we get to Steven, if you guys can hear us okay, see us okay, give us a like on the live stream on LinkedIn or Facebook. Give us a reaction on LinkedIn. That really helps us out. Let us know that you can hear us. Connor kind of told our story. Steven, why don't you tell yours a little bit?
Yeah, I'd love to. So yeah, my SEO journey is a little bit different, but also did start in college. So I was on the kind of finance MBA fast track. Didn't really have a plan, but kind of knew that, I knew spreadsheets, knew numbers, and that was kind of like, okay, I'll put it to use, go into investments or corporate banking, something boring. And around that same time, my friend and I were in an entrepreneurship class together, working on a project, and he mentioned that he was a business owner, and I was like, yeah, right. Like, what are you doing on the side that do you think that you'd be classified as a business owner? And yeah, lo and behold, he was right. He was building niche affiliate websites, and was doing it all through organic SEO, no social media, no paid ads. And at that time, like when we were in college, he was already making, 5 figures, probably 15, 20K per month as a college student. And we were just blown away. I was blown away because I didn't even know that was one, fathomable, and two, obtainable while you're still doing everything on the side. And so pretty much learned that and scrapped my college track immediately, started building websites pretty much from that day, and tried to learn SEO as quickly as I could, and just really used him as a mentor and friend, and kind of scaled that into a couple of different websites. We connected with his partner and grew a portfolio of content sites, and that, over a multi-year long period, scaled into about 40 different sites within our portfolio. And we were pumping out about 300 to 400 articles per month. So yeah, my background is in managing all of the people and teams. We had a team of about 30 people working with us to do the keyword strategy, to do the outlines, manage the writers, all the uploading, the internal linking, the on-page SEO. I mean, it really took an army to kind of bring that entire system and operation to life. So it was a really good fit when I connected with Nate and Connor to, look to scale Trio. And, a lot of the systems operations were very identical to where I'd already been, because obviously now we can take that entire system that I had when I was doing it for myself with our other team and just replicate it for clients. And then it's pretty much the same one-to-one model. So really excited to kind of dive into things today and, get Trio SEO off the ground.
Awesome. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the likes are flying in. So we're off to a good start here. Thanks everyone for joining. I set it up so you guys can actually share this live on your own feed, or tag someone in the comments that should be attending that can learn here. One thing I'll kind of add to the story is after we were selling baby products on Amazon, we started FreeUp, a marketplace for VAs and freelancers. And that was our first B2B business. We had no idea about marketing, about SEO and sales and all the stuff that's different from just throwing a product on Amazon. This was before PPC and a lot of the stuff you can do now. So I tackled podcasts and sales, and Connor tackled SEO. And for years, that's all he focused on, was learning every single aspect of SEO, current strategies, different tactics. And it's been amazing just watching him over the years make SEO the backbone of every company that we start. FreeUp, we scaled that over 4 years to doing $12 million a year before exiting. SEO is a big part of it. We actually sold it to an SEO company. And then with our other companies, Outsource School, Ecom Balance, Accounts Balance, we're constantly pumping out high quality, keyword heavy blog articles to be the backbone of everything else we do on the marketing side. So everything that Connor is going to teach you today, and Steven, is stuff that we do on our own business. And it's a strategy that we truly believe in. Just going over some quick rules. This is for you guys. We've all committed to stay here to answer as many questions as humanly possible today. So if you have an SEO question, post in the comments. Feel free to tag me. I'll make sure that I see it. I'm going to constantly going through all the comments there. Obviously, keep it nice, keep it respectful. We're going to do the same to you. That's kind of the only way that we do business. We went through our background. We went through how we met. Connor, you touched a little bit on why we're starting Trio SEO. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, for sure. And just quick, I'm going to give some people some shout outs here. So just saying what up to people that are commenting. So Ahmed, Jahan Shahol, what up, dude? Throwback. Floor, Aisha, Daisy, Jill, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Polkit, Amut, Lel, everyone. We got a lot of people here. Thanks all for being here. Gerald, Kevin, Helen, Bennett, Noor, Sadia, Kyle Corright, what up? Matt Chanel, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Ariba, Jill's coming in a lot. Thanks, Jill. Ahmed, AJ, Jawad, thanks all for being here. We appreciate you guys. And like Nate said, if you've got any SEO questions, just drop them in these comments. Nate's gonna take a note of those, and we'll talk about them as we go through this. But yeah, main reason for starting Trio SEO is, like I said, there's been a demand for it for years. And it's been something that I've been passionate about, of course. And Nate has learned a lot more about over the past 5, 6, 7 years as we've been executing things. And we really just see a huge opportunity. We don't think that SEO is going away. We don't think it's dying. We think AI is going to change it in good ways, and it's going to evolve just like SEO has for the past 20 years. And we want to be a part of that. We want to help businesses grow their traffic, grow their customers, grow their leads in the way that we've been able to for our own companies for years. So we're excited to be in this space. We want to be in it for the next 10 plus years. And this, today is kind of like the launch day to say, hey, we're officially here. We're going to be creating content for companies. Who knows, we might expand to other services. But right now we're just focused on high quality SEO content. And we're excited to do it. So Trio SEO is officially born. We can mark it on the calendar today. So thanks all for being here for it.
All right. If you guys are ready for some SEO knowledge, give it a like, give us one of the emoji smashes on LinkedIn. And yeah, let's get it started. Why don't we start at SEO at a high level? We might have some people here who don't really know SEO. Why don't you give us a breakdown?
Yeah, Steven, want to give your take on it, and I'll share mine as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, at a high level, I always describe SEO as kind of a magic cheat code to the internet. It is pretty much the recipe on how to rank sites on Google. So, if it's the consumer side, when we search for something on Google, and whether that be how to microwave, popcorn or something like that, you get a step of directions. And because of that person on the other side of it created the content, no matter what, that's kind of the relationship between people who post content on Google and people who need to find content on Google. So either search engine is going to be the middleman to, kind of connect relevant content that answers that search intent. And SEO is kind of all of the, nuts and worms between all that. So there's a lot under the hood. It's pretty much like a 1,000 step checklist that anybody who's in SEO knows. It's not just one thing. And bringing all of that to life through, a step-by-step kind of process is what SEO is. So, yeah, kind of TLDR on that is if you need something and you look for it online, we're pretty much the way to make it come to life.
I love it. Yeah, I can add to that too. And for everyone that's listening, if you're new to SEO, that's totally cool. Go ahead and let us know. Throw in the comments, hey, I'm new. I'm trying to learn it from the ground up. But let us know. Well, there's no shame in learning something new. We're learning stuff new every day. So go ahead and throw that in the comments. Yeah, for me, SEO at a high level is always remembering that you're just trying to connect with someone on the other side of the screen, right? So if I'm running a business and I know who my ideal customer is, they're on Google somewhere. They're searching for something. It could be an exact search query for the service I offer, or it could be about a topic that we're experts in and we're trying to teach them about. So SEO as a high level is creating content for those people. And then it's also backlinks, right? So you've got your content, you've got your backlinks. Your content is saying, hey, here's information for specifically you, my ideal customer. And then your backlinks are coming to your content or coming to your website from other websites. And it's adding authority, it's adding validity to the content you're creating. So you kind of have those at the very high level. There's some other things that are involved, but you've got your content, you've got your backlinks. That at a high level is what SEO is all about.
So we have questions flying in. Steven, keep going. Sorry.
I just want to say, I know that we kind of use SEO. It's actually an acronym. So for anybody who really doesn't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. And so pretty much you're optimizing for search engine results. So just I want to glance over that aspect too.
So I have one question for you guys, and then we'll get to other people's questions because they're flying in. Why do you guys love SEO? Why years ago were you like, hey, I'm going to tackle SEO. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to nerd out on this. I'd love to hear each of your guys' take.
Yeah, I'll start on that one. I really appreciate any sort of process or system, whether it be business or life, where I can put in a lot of work up front and kind of, reap the benefits down the road. So with SEO, we do a lot of the strategy up front. We create the content up front. And then obviously once that's published and all of the other kind of things that tidy up that process are done, it takes a long time for search engines to read that content, understand it, and then determine how it sits and ranks according to other people who are trying to go after the same result. So even if you publish an article, you might not see it start to rank on the second or third page of Google for maybe 4 to 6 months later. Obviously, we all know that no one's really even going past the first page on Google, probably not going past like the fourth or fifth result. So if you're not in that top 10 area, then you have just a lower chance. And so SEO is really kind of about how many access points within that article can you get people to outside your primary keyword, and optimizing for keyword clusters, as we call them, and doing all of that within a 1 month or maybe a 6 to 8 week sprint, and then letting that sit and brew for 6 to 8 months later, and then maybe revisit it. So when I look at SEO, I can look at, where is that leverage coming into play? Well, I can really, invest a lot of my high quality time and then letting that sit and kind of come back to it once it has time to resurface. So I think that it's just a really interesting strategy from like a leverage standpoint. And then I also just really think it is like a big cheat code. If you know how to rate content and you can do it well, it's a massive opportunity for businesses, for your e-commerce store, or just getting people in front of your content.
Love it. If you guys like that answer, give the post a like. Connor.
Yeah, I've got another request. So all the newbies threw down in the comments. For anyone that has experience in SEO, shoot in the number of years that you've been doing SEO. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 10. I'll throw mine out there. I think I've been at it since 2014, so about 9 years now, close to 10. So how many years you've been doing SEO? Throw it in the comments. I want to see. I know a lot of these names from being in my comments, but tell me how experienced you are. Let's see who's got the most. And yeah, for me, why did I get into SEO? Why did I like it? Fun fact you might not know about me is I've been a writer my whole life. So I've journaled, I've wrote things. I've always wanted to be an author, right? From a young age, I read books and I was like, hey, I want to be able to write too. I want to write a book. I want to write this, write that. And when Nate and I got into starting FreeUp in 2014, 2015, we were like, okay, how do we grow this? We don't know digital marketing. We figured out how to sell things on Amazon, but now we have to go reach people just using the internet. And writing was my go-to. So I went and looked at email marketing. I went and looked at ads. I went and looked at SEO. I went and looked at social media. And SEO spoke the most to me because it was long form writing. And if I could focus on certain keywords, I knew I could go out there and try to rank and then get in front of those ideal customers for us. And so writing's just always been a passion of mine. It still is. I don't have as much time for it today in terms of SEO fashion, but I'm still always loving to learn about it. And that's a big reason why I got into LinkedIn too. It's just another form of long form content writing and creation and figuring out how to craft your words so that it speaks to people and evokes emotion. So that was really why I got into SEO and why I still nerd on it today.
Love it. So I got a question for me and then a question for you guys. So the question for me is this recorded? Yes, it is. And if you go to our YouTube channel, TrioSEO on YouTube, all of this will be posted. We also have other SEO nuggets from Steven and Connor that you can check out there too. And we'll be updating that every week with the latest SEO news, tactics, strategies, everything that we're doing in our own business will go there. So if you miss it, feel free to go to YouTube and it'll be on LinkedIn as well. First question for you guys. How do you structure content? This is from Manjo. And what tools are you using? How do you structure content and what tools are you using?
Nice. Steven, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So when it comes to content, I mean, content as it stands is a pretty broad term. So I think that for this example, let's just hone in on articles or, like informational articles, just to make it easier. So if we're looking at a topic, that's pretty much where you want to start, is taking your primary keyword, and that's going to be the title of the article or whatever people are going to search for in order to find that article on the receiving end or the opposite side. And so when it comes to structuring the content, you will take a look at all of the things that might be related to that topic and that might add value to their search intent. So if we take a look at like something, maybe like, is SEO hard to learn? Well, then there's going to be a lot of other topics within that talk about like, what is technical SEO? What is on page? How are those, vary in difficulty? So it really kind of, breaks down that topic and then might dive into it. So when structuring an article, for example, you really kind of want to walk through that user's journey and see what would they want or benefit from knowing, And then how can you bake in those other secondary keywords that will help your article rank better and perform better than other competitors? And so by including those secondary keywords and structuring them within headings, the H2s, H3s, FAQs, and doing all of that little kind of like in between detective work, that's really just going to kind of create like a really comprehensive article. And then over time, as Google reads that and understands it, you kind of start to, acquire a whole handful of keywords that people can start to find your article through different paths.
Nice. Connor, you?
I'm going to let him just own the answer there. I would say tools. I think that was thrown on there at the end. We use SEO Wind for creating article outlines. We use Ahrefs as like our go-to for looking up anything SEO related. We use Yoast and WordPress, and there's a few others that we tap into, but those are the main ones. I also wanted to say in the comments again, let's all get together a little bit, right? So you're seeing everyone comment here. You guys should all connect. If you've got your LinkedIn profile link handy, throw that in there. Everyone should connect, get to know each other. This is about creating a big SEO community as much as it is talking about SEO and what we've got going on. So if you've got your LinkedIn profile link handy, toss it in and get to know each other.
Awesome. 29 people have reshared this live. We really appreciate it. If you like what Stephen and Connor are bringing today, please reshare it. Let's spread the word there. I have a question here. Can you go through your link building process from day one? Connor, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, sure. So link building, there's so many different strategies, right? And you guys see them all the time. I post about some of them here on LinkedIn. Other SEOs post about them. You could go search backlink building on Google and you're going to find, tens of different types of strategies. For me, it all comes back to really relationship building. So if you own a business or you're doing SEO backlink work for a client, you want to try to find relationships within their industry where you're not competing with them. So a great example is the company that Nate and I used to run is called FreeUp. And we were catering mainly to e-commerce business owners. So people that were selling on Amazon, people that were selling on Shopify. Well, we were a freelance marketplace that helped e-commerce business owners hire. But there's so many other e-commerce companies out there that help people with payments, that help them with customer service, that help them with whatever it is, anything you could imagine. There's all these different e-commerce companies. And what we did was we went out and reached out to all of them. As long as we weren't competing with all of them, we made relationships with them. We got to know them. We networked with them. We learned what their business was doing. We shared what ours was. And then we found ways to collaborate with each other, right? So we would write blog articles together. We would create white papers together. We would add each other to our partner pages and directories. We would find ways that we could team up and help each other out. And that usually led to backlinks one way or another. And it was also just a network where as we created blog content, as we created ebooks, as we created case studies, we could share it with them. And then they had the chance to, if they really liked it, they might link back to it. They might post it on social. They might include it in their newsletter. So really backlinks for me comes back to relationship building and building those strong connections with a community of people that are in your industry. And then you're going to attract backlinks to you as well.
Stephen, anything you want to add on top of that?
No, I think Connor really hit the nail on the head there. I think that everyone tries to beat the system when it comes to backlinks and really go for a quantity versus quality approach, which is the opposite way you should think about backlinks. Also, I think that it's worth just kind of defining backlinks. So like if you have if you get a link or some sort of connection from another website, that's a great way to boost your SEO. But when it comes down to getting that link, people know how valuable they are. They're pretty much worth their weight in gold in terms of SEO. And so getting that vouch or that credibility it should be earned and not just flat out given. So I would say, be patient with your link building process and try to find unique ways to contact that person or, give them value. Because I think that everyone nowadays is just doing it in spam, and that's obviously no one on the receiving end wants to, participate in that. So realize that the person who's reading your emails and your outreach is human, just like you, and go about it through a thoughtful process and take it slow.
Love it. If you like our backlink process, give us a like, give us a reshare. We really appreciate it. I got a follow up to that. Should you buy backlinks?
Connor, you want to take this one?
Yes, my answer to that is a hard no. You should not buy backlinks. You should build them in an organic way. If you can hire someone to help you build backlinks, but you should by no means buy backlinks just where they come to you and they say, hey, I own these 20 sites and I can build you a backlink for $50 a link. Avoid those. Those are not going to help. They will cannibalize your site over time. Go the high route, be organic, and build those relationships.
Steven, I think you agree there, right?
I do. Yeah, I think it's very easy to want to take the shortcut and to want to take the path of least resistance when it comes down to it. But if you do something that you clearly know is against Google's guidelines and policies, and then you accidentally, or not even accidentally, you get penalized 6 months down the road and you're shocked by that, don't be. It happens. Obviously, there's a lot of other reasons that people can be penalized, but as long as you play by the rules and know that you're kind of within the confines of best practices, then it's kind of you're on the right foot forward.
Love it. If you guys have any follow-up backlink questions, post them. We're going to change topics for a second, but we can circle back to those. We got a few people asking the same question. MD Harris, what's the impact of any current SEO updates? What are some updates that people should be aware of, and how is it impacting what you guys are doing on the SEO side?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest thing is just quality content. There has been some core updates coming out recently that Google's always trying to refine its algorithm. It's always going to want to show the best quality content and filter out any of the spam sites or thin content and content that doesn't add value. So I think that as long as you are, optimizing your article or your content with correct keywords that are relevant to the search topic and not just, adding things that you think will stuff that article or that piece of content. And then I think the other thing too is going back and making sure that it's updated and relevant. Many people, I think, that take a one and done approach to SEO. So once you post that piece of content, it's like, okay, that's off my plate. I don't have to worry about it ever again, which is the complete opposite. I would say that, depending on your industry, if it's seasonal, always want to revisit it maybe twice a year. If it's like, an off season, on season type of thing, but at the very minimum, once per year. I've heard people say even as often as maybe once per quarter. I think that's a little overkill, but I think that as long as you're keeping your content fresh and up to date, Google will recognize that. But I mean, like all SEOs, we don't really know what Google has behind the scenes. And so we're kind of just trying to play by the rules. Yeah,
makes sense. I've got a thought too, but I've also got a question for our thriving comment section here. For all my SEOs here and anyone that's just getting to know SEO, what do you think is the most important? New content, upgrading old content, or building backlinks? Let's have a healthy little conversation, and you can post and then give your thoughts on it. Let's keep it, like I said, friendly and healthy. But which one's most important? We've got new content, upgrading old content, or building backlinks. And yeah, in terms of actually like Google updates. So for me, it's been, again, almost 10 years that I've been doing SEO. And I've never been hit too hard by Google updates. And I think the main reason for that is I'm just always focused on building the highest quality content on the specific keyword, on the topic that I'm creating content around. So Google at the end of the day is trying to serve up the best experience, the best content, the best answers to the actual people that are searching on Google. And so that's exactly what they want. They don't want you to go spam 1,000 AI articles that don't add value, that have crappy reading experience, that have repeat content within it. You can put those up and you might rank for a few keywords, but I bet over time it hurts you. It all comes back to high quality content. How can you create the highest quality? And then as Google releases updates, read their updates and see what they say. Hey, we're valuing this more than that. We're looking at this a little bit more closely. It gives you little hints of how you can continue to make small tweaks to your content process that will make things better over time.
Love it. We got one from Tom Spruce. So on content clusters, would you say it's better to focus on your most popular search terms or product families and journeys? And why don't you start off by just defining content clusters?
Nice.
Do you want to start, Connor?
Yeah, can you say that one more time, Nate?
Yeah, on content clusters, would you say it's better to focus on your most popular search terms or product families and journeys?
Okay. Yeah, so content clusters are, oh, nice. You threw it up there. Nice. Tom, what up, man? Great to have you here. Thanks for asking the question. So content clusters, just for everyone, this is like if you think about your business, you have a couple like main hubs or a couple categories of content that you write about, right? So within SEO, it might be keyword research, backlinks, upgrading old content, new content. And so what Tom is saying is like within keyword research, let's say there's going to be all these other things that fall under it. Do you go for the most popular search terms? So those that may have like the most monthly search volume, or do you go after ones that are more focused on your like ideal customer? So they might be high intent questions they're asking or trying to get answered. Which do you go after first? Because there's always going to be options. There's going to be a lot of things that you can target. For me, I like to go after what Tom has said here as like the product families and journeys. So I like to go after the high intent keywords first. Usually those ones are going to have less monthly search volume, but they're going to have lower keyword difficulty usually. And it depends on the keyword, but I like to go over those first because as a business owner, I want traffic that can actually turn into leads. And those keywords are usually best associated with those high intent keywords. After I get those going and I can see that I have good content for them, I'll switch over and I'll go after more popular search terms. And again, try to go for more long tail where it's less competition, good search volume, and where we think we can actually rank.
Steven, you got anything off of that?
No, I agree. I think that it's always good to kind of mix in and sprinkle in various clusters, just kind of like what Connor was saying. With TrioSEO, we always kind of follow that same approach that Connor just described, where we try to, make sure that we're going after keywords that one, we know can rank. That's obviously you don't want to create content and wait 6 months later and then have it not rank. So the keyword difficulty has to be there. We want to know that the search intent is there and that the conversion intent is there. So, once you kind of find that, cluster, then it's just kind of a matter of creating the content that speaks to it. But then I think that it's also important to touch on the fact that once you do go after those popular terms, they're, in many industries, they're much more difficult to target because everyone's going after them, obviously. And so it's perfectly fine to set those aside and just know that it's better to have lower traffic that actually moves the needle for your company compared to just thinking that SEO is all about traffic.
Love it. We have a comment from Keeter saying, Connor, your content has helped me a lot. If you guys are watching and you guys appreciate Connor's content, he posts every morning, 5 a.m. Mountain Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, SEO strategies and tips. Show him some love in the comments. Give this a like. I know we really appreciate everything that he's done for the LinkedIn community. All right, guys, you ready for your first AI question?
Yeah, bring it on. You knew it was coming.
Yeah. Why don't you just talk about AI in general? What's your take on AI versus rating yourself and just any overall thoughts on AI?
Yeah, so I can start there. I think that AI content, Google has officially announced that they're not going to ban or penalize you if you create AI content. I think that where it starts to get slippery is if you create AI content and let that be the end all be all. So anybody who's in AI or, the world of AI, it's a tool. And so with all tools, it's not a 100% replacement for any of the current processes or systems that we're already using or have been using. And so if you are relying on AI content, I would highly encourage you to edit it manually or send it to someone who's really good at editing and read through it and then see how you can spruce it up. Because if, just like with anything, it's not going to be a perfect replacement. And so, but overall, I mean, if you can create an AI article that speaks to all of the things that we've been discussing, relevancy, search intent, keyword clusters, and just kind of like creates a high quality article, then, more power to you. But I think it's really easy nowadays to get swept up in AI content because of how quick it is and how affordable it is to produce. And so people look to do that which I would say tread gently. It's easy to get swept up in that. So if you're going to experiment with content, I would say don't do it on a client site. Do it on maybe a burner site that you can afford to get penalized on, and kind of test the waters there, refine your process, and then create an SOP around it. But don't just throw content on a site that if it goes down or gets penalized, you're kind of left high and dry. So be careful.
Yeah, good thoughts. All right, my commenters, I've got another question for you. Where are you all at? I know you're all over the world. Post what city and country you're in. I wanna see where everyone's at. Maybe there's some overlaps. Maybe there's some people that can get together, meet up, and connect. So where are you all at? I'm in Denver, Colorado, in the United States. That's where Nate is too, and Steven is in Seattle, or just a little outside of Seattle, Washington, in the U.S. But where are you guys at? Throw it in the comments. In terms of AI, yeah, so for me, it just comes back again. How do you create high quality content? Can AI help you do that? If it can, amazing, and figure out ways to do that. It could even be in ways that is not just writing the content directly, right? So SEO Wind is a great example. They help you analyze first page SERPs. You can look at the top 10 results. You can see what their H2s, H3s are. You can create your outlines. You can look at what FAQs are. You can see what questions are being asked on Quora around the keyword. There's all these AI tools that are coming out in the SEO world that aren't just creating content. They're helping you in other areas of SEO. They're gonna help you make your content more high quality. And so when it comes to if you're using AI to actually generate content, my advice is have a human involved. It's not just, hey, click, generate an article for me and then send it up to your site and publish it. There's got to be someone on the back end. They're going through, they're editing, they're optimizing, they're doing everything you normally would to optimize a SEO blog article or page content. And they're there as like an end all be all to say like, okay, this content wasn't good enough. I'm going to edit it, make it better. I'm going to make these bullet points instead of a big fat paragraph. I'm going to, add in internal links, external links, whatever it is. There's a lot that goes into SEO that isn't just the content. And you need to be there, have someone on the back end that's doing that optimization, no matter how you use AI.
I'll also add in for TrioSEO, we have two options. One, we'll write the blog articles for you, do the keyword research and the content strategy. But we also have an option where we'll do the comprehensive keyword strategy. We'll build out the plan, but we'll give you the outlines. And then you can take those outlines, give it to AI, give it to your writers, and then put the blog articles on your site yourself. And if you're interested in that, go to TrioSEO.com. You can fill out a form right on our site, and we'll do a little audit on your site and see if we can work together. Connor, I got another comment for you. Connor Gillivan is a gem. His content on LinkedIn really helps a lot. Steven and I agree. Connor is one of a kind.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, I got a good one from Yaren. Thanks, guys. I've always wanted to know how to get better at forecasting clicks to be gained from potential clients and how to measure ROI on a content marketing efforts. Connor, I know you do a lot with just tracking on a monthly basis with all our businesses. Why don't you start this one?
Yeah, for sure. Forecasting clicks is an interesting one. Always tough because, yeah, you can get certain data in Ahrefs or SEMrush or wherever it is that tells you, hey, for this keyword, in general, there's this amount of monthly clicks. But it's hard to say like, hey, then what percentage of that will I get if I'm ranking number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? And so for that, I don't have like a set formula, but there are ways you can say, hey, if this is the monthly search volume and I can get to number 1 to 5 ranking, I can maybe say I get this percentage of those clicks on a monthly basis. And you can kind of build an estimate off of that or do a forecast. I've also just been introduced to a new tool called SEO Monder that helps you do this forecasting a little bit more. I'll be making a post about it in the next couple of weeks. So that should give you a good example of how they're setting that up and helping you do that. And then measuring ROI on content marketing efforts. Yeah, so for me and Nate, as we've been running our businesses, one thing we always do is just try to attribute leads and clients back to the source of where they found us. So in any of our sign-up forms and any of our pricing forms, whatever it is of where that client's coming in to say, hey, I'm here. I'm interested in hiring you for what you offer. we're always asking, hey, how'd you hear about us? And then for me as a marketer, I can say, oh, that person found us through YouTube. That person found us through SEO. That person found us through LinkedIn. I can get a good idea of how many customers are coming to us on a monthly basis. And then what's the average value of that customer for that month, for the next year, let's say. And then I can figure out, okay, is the amount we're investing into our content marketing paying off? And I can track that on a monthly basis and see how things are going. So those are a couple of things that you could try out when you're looking at this type of question.
Just to add off that, and then I want Steven to jump in. So we started Ecom Balance, our e-commerce bookkeeping service. And for e-commerce bookkeeping, Connor got us to, I think we're number 1 behind Shopify, below the sponsored posts on Google. And every day, every week, we're getting people signing up saying they heard about us on Google. And that really works for us. So just a real life example. Steven, you got anything to add to that?
No, I think that what I really just want to touch on, and kind of, echo what Connor said, was that don't go into forecasting without any pre-existing data. If you just look at a keyword and say, based on this keyword, it gets this many monthly searches and this is what we're going to forecast, like you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. So I would say, be realistic with the timeline of what you want to set out to, kind of track, and then use the, some sort of metric or kind of timeline to collect that data and then use it to forecast out. So don't just go into it blindly and say, oh, this keyword gets 500 monthly searches and we're going to get 500 clicks. Like, that's not how it works. The other thing to think about is your article or your page or whatever you want to use to classify your result is going to have more than just one keyword ranking for it. So if you're doing SEO well, your article is probably going to have, anywhere from 5 to 10, 20, 50 plus hundreds of keywords on that one page. And so people are going to find different ways to access that. So if you're forecasting your clicks or any of your ROI based on just one metric or one keyword, it's probably going to be really inaccurate because people are going to find you through other avenues. And so I would say wait for your content to fully rank, maybe check back after 6 months, 4 months, however mature your site is, and then you can kind of take a better look at it. But if you're just trying to forecast it before you even written the article, it's just so inaccurate, it's not even worth doing.
Yeah, makes sense. Nate, I've got another question for our commenters. Can I throw it out there?
Of course.
All right, nice. Okay, so big question for you guys here. I appreciate all the support for me and Steven, but other than me and Steven, who is your favorite SEO on LinkedIn or on social media? Toss in their name, tag them. What SEOs do you follow? Who do you get the best advice and content from other than me and Steven? I appreciate all your support, like I said, but who else we got? Who else is in the game right now that you guys are liking a lot?
Got the perfect follow-up question for that. I can't post it on StreamYard because it's on LinkedIn, but what steps would you recommend for newbies starting their career as an SEO expert or wanting to be an SEO expert?
Nice.
I love this question. I can start.
Yeah, sure.
I think that it's so important to test and fail and get your hands dirty and get a site that you can learn SEO on. And so just speaking from experience, that's pretty much what my friend did. He gave me a site and he just said, here's the site. I forgot that I even had it. You can't break anything on it. You can pretty much do whatever you want when it comes to on-page technical stuff. Whatever you do, don't worry about failing. Just figure out how to break it, build it back up, optimize it, create content, publish, etc. And so once you have a platform or some sort of environment where you can start to just, like I said, run experiments on, everything from there is carefree. You don't have to worry about testing things on a client site. And if you mess up there, then, their entire business is flopped. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Go create something that's like super easy to set up, Squarespace, whatever, WordPress, ideally, and just start creating content, start messing around and seeing what works. Go to YouTube, go to blogs, go to TrioSEO, and then come back and see how that all kind of comes together. But you can only learn so much through reading and watching videos, and until you actually, roll up your sleeves and do it for yourself and see where the pain points are and kind of start to take all that terminology and digest it and put it to good use. That's really the best way to learn.
Also throw in the TrioSEO YouTube channel. I just threw the link in there. Subscribe. We have new videos coming out every Monday and Tuesday. All of Connor and Steven's best tips and nuggets are going right up there. Connor, you're up.
Love it. Yeah. So for anyone that's new to SEO, I've got a little I've got a little model for you to follow. So this is one that Nate and I have been following for years. And it's this model of practice, perfect, process, right? So you've got 3 Ps. The first thing you need to do is exactly what Steven said. Go out there, start a website, start a blog, figure out what you want your niche to be, build hub and spokes, write the content, publish it, do everything you can SEO, learn from us here on LinkedIn, learn from other SEOs, and just practice. Do that for, I don't know, 3 to 6 months. Try to put out, tens, 50 plus articles. Just get the reps in and practice as much as possible. Once you perfect it, that's great. You've reached a good point. There's always going to be ways that you can make it better, but once you get to perfection, make a process for it. So the best SEOs I know, and Steven's one of them, and it's a big reason we decided to work together, is both of us are process people. So SEO works really well when you can figure out, hey, here's a checklist for this, here's a checklist for this, here's a checklist for this, here's a process for this. And it's a big pipeline. You can run people through it. You can run content through it. You can run clients through it. And you can take people that have different skill sets and place them into that pipeline as well. So go out and practice, perfect the craft, make a process of it. I bet there's going to be a company that wants to hire you, or you're going to be so good at it by that point that you can go get clients and start to make money on it yourself. So just follow that. Practice, perfect, process.
I had a question, but then when I threw the YouTube link in, it lost the spot. But it was something along the lines of, what's your take on putting out really high quality content, but if you have a poor website or your website isn't optimized?
Yeah, so that's always going to be one of the biggest hurdles, especially if you are starting a new website, or you are trying to, maybe correct someone else's wrongdoings, or, you're dealing with something that's just not ideal. So I would say before you start creating content, or before you start going into keywords research and kind of all of the nuts and bolts that kind of are in that category, I would say make sure your site is really, technically sound. And so technical SEO as it stands is one of those categories of SEO that is really scary. It's daunting, it's technical, there's a lot of code involved, but it's also one of the most beneficial aspects of SEO. So if your site is clean and it runs well and it's quick, it's optimized for mobile and all of the kind of, things that encompass technical SEO, and that's good from the get-go, you're going to save yourself so much time rather than having to go back and correct it once you have 400, 500 pages on your site and it's a big mess to deal with. So I would say it's worth either learning technical SEO and going the slower approach, or if you have the, resources to do so, reach out to somebody who knows technical and see if you can get some insights on them. But I would say it's always best to polish up your site and get it in a good good position where you can start creating content and not have to worry about that. Because if you have that itch in the back of your head that's constantly taken away from your, quality of the content, then you're just going to be distracted. So do you have anything to add on that, Connor?
Yeah, for sure. I would say if you're just a new site, like you don't have many like technical issues, but you're just brand new, 0 DR, you just started it, you're getting rocking. The advice there is just make sure that your site is designed clean and nice from the start. And you just gotta be patient, create content, let it flow. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 months to start potentially ranking for keywords and seeing significant traffic if you're doing it correctly. But you just got to be patient there. There isn't too much there. But if it is a situation where, like Steven said, you're taking over a site that's in bad shape, maybe you're like, hey, I've got this client and I think they have a lot of content potential, but their UX is a mess, right? Like I go to their site and it doesn't work on mobile, or it breaks, or there's all these ads that are popping up, or whatever it is. For me, I would try to give that advice to the client, or if it's my own company, I'm going to go fix that. So go make the experience better. SEO is part content, part experience. And you have to remember that when Google ranks you for a keyword, they're looking at what happens once someone clicks into your page as well. So someone clicks on it from Google, they go to your page. If they immediately click back because it looks like a website that was built in 1990, Google's going to pick up on that really quick and throw you to the bottom of the rankings. But if they come to your site and they say, whoa, this is super modern and looks awesome, and the content's great, that's going to help you a lot. So focus on UX just as much as you do the content. That will help you in the long run. And I've got another thing to get the comments rocking here. It's slipping my mind though. What was I going to ask? All right, Nate, you shoot. I'll come back with it.
While you're thinking of that, to answer your earlier question, we got people with 2 years experience, 15 years of experience, 7, 25, 0, 12. We got a whole range of people here. So if you haven't posted how many years of experience you've been in SEO, feel free to comment that. I do have another question, but if it came to your mind, feel free to ask yours.
Yeah, I remembered it. So we kind of told you guys what our go-to SEO tools are, but like I said, there's always new ones coming out, free and paid. So what are your guys' favorite SEO tools right now? What's always open on your browser? What are you using to research stuff, to look at competition, to plan those content briefs, to write the content? What are you guys using the most right now? Let us know, and I'd love to know, because I'm always trying to learn new tools too. So shoot down which SEO tools you're using the most right now.
We also got a comment here from Tom Winter. Wicked, you guys are one of the best sources of feedback for us when developing SEO Wind. I actually just went through the podcast that Steven and Tom did together and took up clips of that and put it on our YouTube channel. So that was awesome. Thanks, Tom, for having Steven on. And we love our partnership with SEO Wind.
Yeah, Tom's the man. If you don't know him yet, hit him up, follow him on LinkedIn, get to know him. He's a great guy.
Awesome. My next question is about competition. What should you be looking at with your competitors' SEO? How often are you looking at your competitors? Which one of you wants to go first?
Okay, I can do that. I love keyword research. I think that's kind of like my bread and butter when it comes to SEO. And that's why, our content with TrioSEO works so well. And I think that when analyzing competitors, you have to really go into the weeds. You really have to go down the rabbit hole. If people are, just look at one or two competitors and think that that's the total landscape, that's just, you're not really investing in the amount of time that it takes to reap the benefits on the other side or at the end of the tunnel. And so I think when it comes to doing competitive keyword research, at least, maybe technical side, you can also look at their backlinks. I would say whatever you think you're doing, double it, triple it, 4x it, and then start doing that. So with that, you can also take a look at the size of the site and see how that difficulty, if that's within reach for your own site. So if your own site, say, is like a DR5 and you're looking at sites that are DR70, that's probably not a very good representation of the keywords that you can go after, because they're just going to crush it no matter what. So whenever we do keyword research and do competitive keyword research, we always take a look at kind of like different stages of sites and see, where are they falling within a, DR range of 5 to 10, and then maybe like 15 to 25, and then et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's one thing I would suggest is kind of, one, spending more time than you think you want to do. And then also with that, I would say split it up into chunks. So if you are going to, invest a lot of time, don't feel like it has to be a 8-hour grind where you sit down and you do it all in one sitting. Like, that's just not going to be great for yourself, not going to be good for your clients. You want to have a circulating fresh mind whenever you kind of look at that sort of stuff, just because numbers and all that sort of stuff really does kind of like just numb your brain after a couple hours. And so, take a fresh look. But I think that, competitive keyword or competitive research as it stands is probably one of the best places you can start, because they've already done a lot of the lift for you. So you don't have to worry about what works and what doesn't. You have direct data to reference. You can take a look at their site, look at yours, see where the opportunities lie, and then fill in the gaps.
Nice. I love it. This is awesome. It's great to see everyone's tools as well. Thanks for posting those. I'll be coming back to this to see if there's any that I haven't used yet. If you're running an SEO company, or you have a business that you're doing too, share that as well. Let's see what how many entrepreneurs we have in this group. Would love to know what businesses people are running.
I was just say tag it too. If they have a page on LinkedIn, tag their page.
Love it. And then on competitor research, like Steven, I love competitor research. It's where all the ideas are when it comes to keywords, when it comes to outlines, when it comes to titles. There's just so much you can tap into when it comes to your competition. And similar to him, I kind of break it up. And so I'll go to my like very direct competitors when it comes to the service of the business I'm running and the site DR. So say for example, and I'll go look them up, right? I'll throw them into Ahrefs, and they usually have less keyword opportunities that I can go after or get inspiration from, but they tend to be the ones with the highest intent. So for example, when I'm doing it for Ecom Balance, our e-commerce bookkeeping company, I might go look at one that's our direct competitor that's very small as well, but they're ranking on those top keywords where we wanted to be when we first started. So I think when you go smaller direct competition, you can find those high intent keywords where you want to build pages, build content for. And then when it comes to like your medium and low intent content, kind of like higher up in the funnel, I go after the big boys. So I go find the biggest company in the industry and I look at the keywords. For example, with Ecom Balance, I go look at Bench. They're one of the biggest companies in the bookkeeping space online. They've been around for 12 plus years. They rank for like 40,000 keywords. Are all those helpful to me? No. But I can go ahead and filter that so that I say I only want keywords that have keyword difficulty 20 and under. And I can go look at those and see if there's opportunities where I can build different hubs off them, spokes off them, whatever it is, and get different content ideas. So there's a lot out there that you can get from your competition. So definitely make sure that's a part of your SEO process.
Guys, let's show Steven and Connor some love. We're approaching the 1 hour mark. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep answering your questions. Give us a like, give us a reshare, leave a comment. We really appreciate all you guys attending. We're humbled to be here. So we're going to keep trying to serve you guys and answer all these questions. I don't know if this is an easy one or not, but about internal linking. What's the best way to detect internal link holes on articles you've deployed? I assume there's a quick way to see number of internal links per article. You guys want to take a stab at that?
Yeah, so internal linking is one of those things where it can't be overlooked, but it's also one of the most important aspects to growing your site and your SEO, especially if you don't have a good authority or domain rating or if it's new. So when it comes to detecting internal link holes, I think that Yoast does this pretty well. And I think that you can do it through Screaming Frog. So there's like some technical tools. Depending on the size of the site, I've always been a fan of just actually manually doing a one-time read through and seeing what's on the site. Obviously, that's not going to work if you have a site that has 500 pages or 1,000 pages or whatever it be. But I think that, yeah, Yoast is kind of my go-to. It has a quick like internal, external counter. And so you can kind of see pages that are underserved. Maybe somebody accidentally got overserved. And so those are kind of my go-to. Do you have any other ones, Connor?
Yeah, I don't like detecting them is tougher. It's more like building it into your process and making sure you're doing it going forward. And then when you go back and upgrade old content, like let's say Brian, you have 20 articles up on your site that you weren't doing internal linking for before. Well, when you go back and upgrade old content and you're trying to get them ranking higher, internal linking should be one of those things on the checklist that you go through and make sure you're updating so it goes out to your main hub pages, to your home page, to your service pages, to other relevant pieces of content that have to do with that piece of content as well. So yeah, it's a little bit of like, make sure you're doing it going forward if you hadn't been, and then go back and try to update articles that have potential. And then like Steven said, there are some tools where it can say like, hey, this is an orphan page. There's just absolutely no links going out or into it. And those are ones you can target more easily. But yeah, just something overall to have a part of the strategy.
I got such a good segue question from John Scholl, one of our first hires back in our Amazon business back in the day. What is your go-to strategy for optimizing existing content, such as articles or site pages?
Oh man, how much time do you have? John Scholl? Why don't you start, Steven? I'll add on some stuff too.
Yeah, so let's just hone in on articles. Site pages can get messy just because there's so many types. But what I typically do with that is I will take a look and do a keyword strategy as if I was not doing an update. So I would see if I was going to create this page from the ground up and optimize it 100%, what would I do? And then using that as kind of like my runway, I would then go take a look at the page and see, okay, where do those, what works, what doesn't work, where are my gaps, what can I keep, what can I not? And then I would say, once you have that, take a look at your competitors and see, okay, what are in the top ranking SERPs? What are the top results for this page? What are they doing that I'm missing? And where can I kind of look to, one, meet them, and two, where can I kind of get that extra edge? So if the top 5 articles all have videos within them and you don't, that's probably a clear case. You should probably look to add some other types of media, whether it be a video or an infographic, maybe a custom image, maybe it's like a linkable asset, maybe it's a calculator that you can build or a quiz that you can build. So how can you add more value to that piece of content without overwhelming people and making it seem like it's a 7,000 word article that no one's going to read, and also trying to get a competitive spin on it? I think that's really important. And then one last thing I would say is, when it comes to working with your team or your writers, I would say go over the top when it comes to your communication. And if you're the one doing the strategy, work with them to kind of deliver your vision for that. And so that when it comes to updates or updating that piece of content and adding in the new stuff, making sure that everyone's on the same page is so critical to success.
Nice, I love it. All right, I've got a quick plug for Trio before I give my answer as well.
Read my mind.
Yep. So a quick plug is Trio SEO is all about creating SEO content for businesses, helping them drive more traffic through content creation. So you work with us, we do your keyword research, we build your keyword strategy, and then we actually go write and publish the articles on your site. If you want to do the writing yourself, we also offer a service where we'll just do the keyword research, content strategy, and build the article outlines for you. So just keep that in mind. And anyone that's listening, if you're an SEO, a freelance SEO, or you own an agency, or you're just in the world and you know anyone that might potentially be a good fit for Trio, you hear someone that wants to create content, but you're more focused on backlinks, or you run into a business person who wants to create a ton of content. Who can they go to? Who's reliable? Please think of us at Trio. We're here. We're going to try to put up the best possible service as we take on clients. So just keep that in mind. And then the second thing is we're growing quickly. So granted, we're launching today. We already have 4 beta clients, and Steven and mine and Nate's time is running out. So we are hiring for an SEO content manager. If you think you're the right fit, shoot me an email, connor@trioseo.com, and I will send you the details. But we are hiring for an SEO content manager. If you know anyone or you think you're the right fit, reach out to us and we can chat some more. And then,
wait, can I have you plug one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you plug. Tell everyone about your SOPs so they can grab it on the Trio SEO website.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So Shoal, the last thing on top of all of Steven's amazing advice is go use our checklist. So we've created a on-page optimization checklist. We've created a go and upgrade your article checklist. I've made carousels about them. Steven has as well. You can get all of those if you go to trioseo.com/SOPs, SOP. And you can download all of them. So that's that there.
Awesome. Kevin says, I like how Nate is being the hype man of this event. Just doing my job.
Love it.
I got a question here. Can you go into your process about building internal linkings? We kind of already covered that a little bit, but do you have anything to add on to what we already talked about?
Yeah. So I would say that one of the first things is to read the article. I think that's kind of it sounds funny to say out loud, but depending on where you are in the team, maybe you're not the writer, maybe you're an editor, content manager, etc. The first thing you always want to do is read it word for word, because you have to get a feel for where people will benefit from that internal link. And so if you're just an SEO strategist and you're trying to do internal linking just for the sake of doing it, it's probably not going to turn out best quality. And so when it comes to getting organic internal links, meaning the anchor text is linked correctly and it's done just as you intend to, it has to flow from where that reader is in that article. And if they were to click that link, would it make sense that they'd want to continue down that path and read the other article? If yes, add a link. If no, probably not the best place. The other thing that we typically like to do is that, there are some instances where you might not have content that's 100% ready to go, but that it's going to be published maybe in a month or two. So in that case, it's okay to leave, an article maybe only has 1 or 2 internal links where another article may have 6 or 7. And then once you have that content ready to go back to the other one and, update it. Just like we said, SEO is an ongoing process. It's not a one and done event. And so, when it comes to internal linking, making sure that your old content is brushed up and attended to just as often as your new content makes that entire recipe for success that much better.
Nice.
Connor, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I will also just add that one thing I like to do is, as I'm building content for any business, is I just make a content library. So I've done it with Google Sheets. I've done it with other project management tools, but I just make a massive list of all of the pages and articles that I've created for that site. So like for Econ Balance, for example, I think it's like 400 plus articles, pages, etc. But I have the title, I have a link to it, I have the keyword that it was focused on. And then anytime I'm writing content, or if I'm assigning something to a writer, they have a place they can easily go control find. Oh, hey, keyword research was mentioned. Don't we have an ultimate guide on that? Boom, they go search it, grab the link, go ahead and toss it in. Internal linking can be a pain if you don't have those links handy. Then you're like going and searching through your blog, or you're trying to search it on Google with your brand name so that it comes up. You can save yourself time by making this like content library and then keeping that updated on a monthly basis.
Love it. Guys, leave a comment, reshare, like. Connor and I normally have a rule where we don't do anything for longer than an hour. We end meetings at the 1 hour mark. We are breaking that rule, throwing it out the window, and we're just going to keep going, answering your questions. We got a good one from Kyle. In your experience, which buyer intent bottom funnel keywords tend to convert well? He says, cheers, fellas.
Nice. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say typically, I'm going to say the ones that have the best XYZ keywords in my experience. That's because my experience also leans a lot into the affiliate background. So, if you have a site, or if you have certain topics that lend itself into listicles, or something that is a comparison, maybe a versus article also does that well. People want to figure out, they're pretty much already down that funnel, and they want to figure out, okay, I have all my pre-research done. What is the best product within this category? And then all you have to do is really clarify why it is ordered in such a way and go that route. But I think outside of that, versus articles. So if it's comparing our product 1 versus product 2, that's going to be good. Or service A versus service B. Those are also great. My third one would also be types of. I think that those are commonly overlooked, but you can really, beef those up to offer a lot of value. If it's, types of ski jackets. Okay, well, why is this the best jacket on the market? Why is this going to be perfect for my situation? Oh, okay, speaks to me directly. Well, then I'm ready to buy. So, there's a lot of different types of keywords out there, but I think it also comes down to how you curate your copy and your content so that it directly aligns with the intent and what they envision to find when reading that article.
Nice. My advice here is just put yourself in your customer's shoes. What are they searching when they're looking for you as a solution? So Kyle, I know, runs a graphic design agency of sorts. So what is that person searching that they're looking for? Unlimited graphic design, branding and graphic design service. I did that for Econ Balance, which is our e-commerce bookkeeping. What is someone searching? They're searching e-commerce bookkeeping service. They're searching e-commerce bookkeeping. For Outsource School, another one of our businesses, they're searching outsourcing course, virtual assistant course. Any of those things where if they're searching that in Google, they're probably looking to purchase something, or they're looking for a solution to their problem. Those are going to be your best ones. And then it's just a matter of going and looking at the actual search volume and keyword difficulty. So ones that you think of, they might be low in volume and really high in difficulty. Well, that's not the right one, but are there synonyms? Are there other ways that people are phrasing it that aren't super competitive, where there's enough traffic that you can make service pages for them. You could try to rank for it with your homepage, whatever it is. Go after those ones and put yourself in your customer's shoes.
Next question is about long tail keywords versus short tail keywords. Can you guys break those down for us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so long tail keywords are going to be any phrase that encompasses usually 2 or 3 plus little words that make up the keyword. So when we talk about keywords, it doesn't mean just one word like dog. It's usually like best dog leash for basset hounds. So that long tail keyword, which has multiple words grouped in, is still defined as a keyword. And so the alternative to that would be just best dog leashes or just dog leashes. So as you start to remove words and it starts to, kind of get more short, i.e. short keyword, long term, it really just kind of, that's the benefit of going after that. But the long tail keywords, I would say, are also advantageous to target because there's typically there's 2 sides. So the first is that they're usually lower difficulty, and the other one is that they're higher search intent. So if someone's looking for, like I said, the best dog leashes for a basset hound, well, they're pretty much already looking, they know what they need for the dog, etc. But if they're just looking at dog leashes, like could be for a small dog, could be for a big dog, etc. So there's still a lot of research to, kind of encompass that. But do you have anything to add on that, Connor?
Yeah, that was really great, really well broken down. I would say if you're a new business, long tail keywords are your best friends. Go after those, avoid short tail. Maybe as some hub pages, you do some short tail keywords, but for the most part, go after long tail. If you're a large business that has an established website with let's say a DR over 50, you're going to have more of a chance to go after those short tails. But long tail's really been a lot of the places where I've always lived, and I drive a ton of traffic, and you'd be surprised when you rank for one long tail keyword, you then rank for a lot of synonyms of that as well that people are searching too. So it can be more traffic than what you're finding by just looking at one long tail keyword. And I've got for our commenters for the squad here. First off, thanks if you're still here, hour and 12 minutes into it. Like Nate said, I usually don't allow this, but we're making an exception here to go over an hour. If you're still here, just say what up. Let us know. I need some motivation here to keep talking to y'all. So if you're here, give us a heads up, give us a what up, give us a little waving emoji, whatever it is. Say hello in the comments, and we'll keep rocking.
Connor, I got a quick request for you. Can you just run through the different tools that you're using real quick, and then we'll go to the next question?
Yeah, of course. So Ahrefs, like I said, is my top tool. I use that for competitor research, for keyword research. If I want to go look at what backlinks are rocking on certain websites, Ahrefs is my go-to. So anytime someone's like, hey, will you do SEO for us? I go throw them in Ahrefs. I look at what's going on, and I can get a good idea of that. So that's number one for me. Number two is SEO Wind. I use that and have gotten to know Tom really well over the past year or so. I think he's building great stuff over there, and it just has a ton of functionality for planning your content, for researching competition. He's built some tools out that are like using AI to generate content as well. So he's just building some cool tools. So definitely go check that one out. Yoast on WordPress, and then like Screaming Frog for looking at more technical things, but I don't use that one as much. So I would say those are my top ones right now. And then of course, you've got your free ones like Google Keyword Planner. I used that for years before upgrading to Ahrefs. That's kind of the same thing. Google Analytics, you should be hooked up there, looking at traffic, looking at things there. And then Google Search Console is huge for finding opportunities where you can upgrade old pages and rank better for keywords. So those are the big ones right now.
Nice. Steven getting some love, Connor getting some love. You read my mind. Someone asked about free tools if they're not trying to pay just yet. Do you guys want to talk about SGE at all?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's an important update. So for those that don't know, it is Google's kind of like AI search that you might see rolling out, especially if you have beta. I think that it's scary to some SEOs. And I think that like all tech, we're going to see changes just kind of evolve over time. But I think that the main thing I really tune into is that Google has a obligation, in quotes, to serve up great content. Like that's pretty much what they are based on. And so if you can create content, like, they have to pull those AI results from somewhere. And it's not like, like I said, there's a lot of debate around AI and it's being generative and all that sort of stuff. But I think that at the end of the day, it's an experiment. We don't know much about it, but I think that overall SEO, it's not dead. And as you start to create content that has all those secondary keywords, the name of the game is really how many access points can you kind of, allow people to find your content. So I know it's kind of a roundabout answer, but I'm not too concerned with it. I think that it'll be interesting to see how things take shape. And overall, I hope that it's, allows people's experiences to be improved, and hopefully we can learn some things from it.
Yeah, agreed. Like Steven said, and like I said earlier on in this, when Google releases an update, I keep an eye on it. I see what's going on, but I always keep a focus on the end customer. What are they coming to Google for? What are they searching? AI can't answer every question they have or in as much depth as they want, or provide the best experience right there on Google. So I always just keep that in mind and keep crunching away at the highest quality content.
Connor, do you have any WordPress plugins that you would recommend?
Yoast is my favorite. I've used it for years. I've never had an issue with it. I know there's some others out there, and there's some haters of Yoast, but it's never really run me wrong. So I still use Yoast on WordPress. And if anyone's got an alternative, shoot it in the comments. Happy to try things out, but it's always been my tried and true.
Sounds good. Steven, can you read this question? I just need to let my dog out of the room.
Yeah. So when creating content hubs, do you prefer to use a pillar page as informational blog posts or a category page where cluster pages are listed? It's a good question. So I've done both, and I think that it really comes down to what sort of experience you want to deliver. So back in the day, I would create a hub page and it would just be pretty much like a library bank of links, and that was it. But I think that as SEO evolves and user experience is really taken into consideration, you want to create a page that allows that customer journey to go from start to finish. And so what I mean by that is it probably wouldn't use just a straight up informational blog post, because people are still going to have to read all of the content in between. So kind of the best workaround, or what I would say is kind of the best middle ground for that, is to create a page where the sections of the category hubs, and those can kind of be sectioned out into various stages of that page. So if you walk through your customer journey, it might start with what is a XYZ and how does it work? And then the next section is alternatives or types of, and then it goes down into how to use. And so as you work through this page, you learn more about it, and people can kind of come back to that page to be the one shop, destination for all of the content you have. Because that's really the name of the game in SEO, is how do you create topical authority around a given topic so that people never have to leave your site. So keep that in mind when creating hub pages, and just kind of, be logical and put yourself in their perspective.
Yeah, good tips. I love Steven's approach to this, so I'm not going to add anything to that. But I do want to ask you guys, any SEO blogs, newsletters, podcasts that you like listening to the most? Like I said, I'm always trying to learn, always trying to find good new resources that teach me something, but also, make me laugh sometimes. I tend to listen to podcasts while I'm running. And if it's just too boring, I got to switch to the next one. So any pods, any newsletters, any blogs that you guys are deep into and like the most in SEO, throw those in the comments. I want to hear.
Lay says, you guys are spitting so much value. If it was a rap, I would say dropping bars. Thank
Nice.
you.
We tried to get Drake to come onto this, but it was tough to get him. He was busy this morning, so maybe next one.
Next time. He said next time.
Yeah.
Connor, can you break down the free resources we have on the Trio SEO site?
Yeah, of course. We've got a bunch. So if you go to the TrioSEO.com website, on the homepage and up on the header as well, you're going to see a bunch of resources. You've got a list of my SEO SOPs. You can download those. You'll have access to them. You can use those for your own SEO. You've got a bunch of case studies about how Stephen built his portfolio of 40 plus companies, how Nate and I did SEO for Ecom Balance, Free Up, and Outsource School. You've got the Trio SEO blog, where we've been just churning out content. We've got checklists in there. We've got definition articles of things in SEO, and we're going to continue to publish content there. I know there's a lot of times that SEOs, they don't do SEO for themselves. They just do it for their clients. We're going to be a little bit different. We're going to be chugging out blog SEO content for years on end. So if you're looking for stuff there, head over to the TrioSEO.com/blog. And we've also got a newsletter, weekly newsletter. We'll be building in public, just giving you updates on what we've got going on. I'll share stories. I'll share resources. We'll keep you up to date as the company grows, and you can kind of see firsthand where it's going and what's going on, what roadblocks we're running into, all that type of stuff. So the site is packed with resources, and we're just going to keep adding more. It's only been a month or so that Steve and I have been working on it. So go check it out. Let us know which ones you like the best, and let us know what other resources you want us to make. We'll get them into the pipeline.
Yeah, I just want to add that we always build in public, whether it's Free Up, Outsource School. We just let you know what we're working on, how it's going, the wins, the losses, success, failures, just keeping up to date on how we're building our team and everything we're doing to grow the business. So you'll get some valuable insights there. Stephen, any free resources or any comments off of that before we keep going?
Oh,
Yeah, we lost Steven. He said that was going to happen. Steven told us ahead of time that his internet was scheduled to change right about now, but we got him for an hour 20. I think he'll be back as well. Meanwhile, I got a question for you. We talked about AI a little bit. I know you don't use AI to write the actual articles that go on our site, but how are you using AI in the process? Break that down for us.
Yeah, for sure. So many ways. For me, I view it as like a researcher and a content generator. So if you want a free tool, you want to use ChatGPT, you can use it for so many different things. You could use it for content ideation. You could use it for keyword ideation. You could look up the intent of certain keywords. There's just so many things you can do. If you check out my LinkedIn profile, I've been posting a bunch of different ChatGPT prompts that I've been testing out and using for ideation. And then other tools, I've mentioned it once already, maybe twice. SEO Wind does a lot of work in terms of helping you research your competition and figure out how to create those content briefs. So definitely go give them a look. And then, yeah, I would say those are the biggest things. But my mentality around it is just that AI plus humans is going to be the future. So if you can find a way to combine the two and make it a part of your SEO processes, you're going to be better for it, and it's going to help your SEO over the long term.
Stephen, we were just talking about, like, Connor doesn't use AI to actually write the articles, but he does use it in the actual process of getting to the articles. Anything you want to add to what he said? I know you missed the beginning of it.
No, it's all good. I would say the main thing with AI, like I said earlier, it's a tool. And so be patient with how you're using it. So if it doesn't get the immediate result that you intended for, don't scrap it. You have to work with it and figure out what you want to use it for. But like we've mentioned, lean on other tools. SEO Wind is great, and just be patient as they evolve. It's better to be, using them now rather than looking back in a couple of years and be like, why did I jump on that train? Now you have to learn all this sort of stuff. So embrace it and, go with the punches, because it's not going anywhere. And anything is going to ramp up way quicker than we probably will expect. And so, embrace it.
Off of this comment, anything you guys want to say to the SEO community on LinkedIn? It's a pretty robust community. It's been pretty fun to just be a part of it and follow it. You guys have any words to them?
I just want to say thanks. Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know. I think the SEO community has been so tight on LinkedIn, and I think it's great. I think it's a great place to learn. I would say one of the things SEO is commonly known for outside of the LinkedIn community is trying to kind of gatekeep all of the secrets and the niches and the keywords I would say that if you are just getting into it, or you have someone that you know who is trying to learn it, be a mentor to them, support them, and show them the ropes, because no one likes a person who is just going to hold the secrets to themselves. And use this as a collaborative system, because that's what the community offers. And the quicker we can pick each other up and roll with that, the better we're going to be in the long run.
Nice. Yeah, a couple of words is you guys, a lot of you know me. I'm on a mission to make SEO simpler for millions of people. I have the privilege of being able to do that for maybe hundreds of thousands already just with my LinkedIn presence. And I'm excited to keep it going. I'm a long-term guy. That's one of the reasons I love SEO. I'm going to be long-term on LinkedIn. I might be expanding to other social networks where I can add value in different ways. So be a part of this community. This isn't just about us building Trio. It's more about SEO growing and evolving, and everyone having a place where they can get to know other SEOs, learn from other SEOs, teach other SEOs, and get to know us personally as well. So if you're a part of my community, Steven's community, the Trio community, keep contributing. We're going to keep bringing you fire content and trying to teach you new things in SEO as the industry evolves. So thanks for all you guys do and for all the participation. Cool. What do you got left for us, Nate?
Sorry, I was going through some LinkedIn comments to make sure I didn't miss any. So someone said you are spilling the LinkedIn or the SEO coffee, which I think is a compliment, and said Connor is the GOAT of SEO. So pretty big compliment there. We appreciate it. Guys, we're going to be winding down. We did our best to answer most of your questions. If you have any last ones, feel free to throw them in there. Someone asked, are we going to have more sessions like this? So funny you should ask. Connor and I were recently talking about doing this once a quarter. Coming on LinkedIn, we'll have different topics. We'll update you on what's going on. Won't always be about SEO, but obviously Connor's the SEO guy, so SEO will be a big part of it. Steven will be joining us as well and helping us out there. And we'll test out some different formats. It's all for you guys. Whatever provides the most value, that's what we're going to do. We love feedback. Shoot us an email, support@trioseo.com. We want to hear from you. Connor, why don't you tell everyone just about Trio SEO, what we offer in your words, and why don't we wrap it up with that?
Sounds great. Yeah, so Trio, like I said earlier, we're all about creating high quality content for businesses. It's going to help them grow in the long run, in the short and long run. So if you come to work with us, you're a client, we perform an SEO audit on your site. We want to make sure that you're a good fit for us just as much as we are for you. And so we go and look at your keyword opportunities, your current rankings, your website, your UX. We kind of take a deep dive into your business and make sure that it would be a good partnership if we were to work together. If we feel like it would be a good fit, then we'll talk to you about what does that relationship look like? What does the pricing look like? How does that all set itself up? Right now we have 3 packages. So you've got a bronze, a silver, and a gold package. Really simple. The first one is for 8 articles. The second's for 16. The third is for 30 every month. And all of those have a price associated with them. If you're not in the budget for us to actually create the content and publish it for you, we'll go out and we'll just create the article outlines for you. So those again have a bronze, silver, gold. Very simple. They have their own pricing as well. So you decide which one you want to work with us on, and then you'll have a kickoff call where we learn a ton about you, about your business, about your customer, about your content, and then we go out and we start doing the planning. So we'll do the keyword research in depth. We'll create the content plan and strategy. We'll figure out which articles and keywords we want to go after first. We'll get that going, and then we get rolling, right? So then Steven and the team and I get to work. We put together the outlines. We assign it to writers. We come back and edit, optimize them, and then publish them directly on your website and track all your rankings and try to bring more traffic to you. So we're all about the content side of SEO. If you're looking for link building or technical, we might have people we can refer you to, but that's not something we offer right now. We're on the content side. If you want to grow with great content, blog articles, page content, come to Trio, and we'd love to work with you.
Awesome. Just a few more plugs. If you go to trioseo.com/SOP, you can grab all of Connor's SOPs. That's a great grab right there. I can see a lot of you guys downloading that right now. If you go to YouTube, type in Trio SEO and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to chop up this video along with other videos that we have, different podcasts that Stephen goes on. It's all going to be on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe there. And yeah, join our newsletter. We'll be sharing updates as we grow. If you're interested in becoming a client, go right to the Trio SEO website. You can click Get Started right on the homepage and fill out a form to give us more information. We'll do a deep dive. We'll do an audit. We'll set up a call with you to go through whether it's a fit or not. And we'd love to work with you guys. Stephen, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone who was able to join. This was a really fun event. We look forward to doing this, every quarter. Switching up the topics, of course, and with anybody who's looking to, kind of work with us, I think that Connor gave a great overview of it. I just want to touch one more time on the fact that our team is growing. So if you have SEO experience or content management experience, be sure to email Connor at trioseo.com. And we're looking to kind of, speak to you and learn more about your experience and see if we're a good fit. So they're looking forward to this for a while now, and we're excited we're here. Thank you for everyone who's been able to join us. And I think we're looking forward to the next one too.
Connor, I'm going to give you the last word before we sign off as the GOAT of SEO.
All right, man. Thank you all for attending today. I think this was more of a show out than we could have expected. When we initially created this LinkedIn event a month ago, I think our goal was like 250 registrants. We got to over 1,000. I don't know how many people showed up here today, but really just speaks to the volumes of this SEO community. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to keep bringing fire every day. So follow me, follow all of us. And yeah, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Steven actually just shot me a DM. I forgot to mention the special. So if you submit a form today to get your audit and you decide to work with us, we're going to give you either 3 free articles or 3 free outlines with your first month. So that's the deal. You're also locked into our beta pricing that we plan on increasing over time. So go to trioseo.com, fill out a form right on our site. It'll take us a day to catch up on the audits or whatever. But if you fill out the form today and you do end up signing up with us, we're going to give you that special as a thank you for joining this launch. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll be in touch and do this again. Bye, guys.
Thanks.